welcome back to another gadget report, and today is a very special one. I don't know if you remember, but in the beginning of the year, this is what I said. So now I'm challenging myself to do a video in December and commenting on this one. I hope I'm right. So, today is crunch time. I am going to revisit that video and I am going to tell you the answer to that question. Was I right or not? So let's talk gadgets, let's talk aviation in 2023, and let's find out if my analysis was right or wrong. Gadgets, and let's talk about what I said in the beginning of the year and that analysis that I made of 2023. Was I right? So let's start by the price of flights. In the beginning of the year, on that my previous video, I spoke about a family of friends that flew to Portugal, to Oporto, and they paid back then more than $14,000, almost $15,000 for the trip from Sydney to Porto. I also mentioned it was in the high season. They left on the 24th of December, so when the prices are really high, and they went for 4 weeks. So what I did, I did a simulation and I looked at one of the websites. I know they looked at this website when they were booking their flights, which is Expedia. So I looked at Expedia for flights from Sydney to Porto using the same dates, and I managed to get them a flight, the cheapest flight that comes up at the moment for a departure from Sydney Kingsford Smith on the 24th of December, just like they did, is at $2,954 per person, a return ticket. So that would come to $11,816, the entire family. So my friends would have saved a few dollars, roughly $2,000, $3,000 in their trip. So as you can see, it is a little bit of an improvement in terms of price, but pricing is still very high. I mentioned in my other video that inflation was partly to blame for that, the cost of fuels, etc., etc. And back then, the lack of competition. There was not all airlines were had returned to normal. So therefore, there is this issue with the offer. There was less offer than there is today in Australia. And now let's go to that part that was mentioned in my video. In the bulk of the video, I predicted that the prices would go down because of more offer and more competition, and that was the problem in Australia. And we all know, I have also mentioned in my insiders, or should I say in my gadget reports. My insiders is on my own other channel. I mentioned in my in one of my gadget reports, Qantas has been involved in a series of scandals, and one of these have been related to another airline applying for an increase of the number of flights to Sydney, and that being rejected by the government. Of course, when you talk about it like this, you would say, what does Qantas have to do with that? But it was then said that or shown that there is a very strong and close relationship with our current Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and the former CEO of Qantas, Alan Joyce, and that would have caused some favoritism towards Qantas. The government has denied that, and I think the fact that we don't have a lot of competition still has affected the pricing, and maybe that's why when we do this exercise for a flight departing Australia, although we see that obviously it's a saving, $3,000 is a saving, it is still on a high note. But again, we are dealing with the dates that are obviously usually heavily priced. So I would say that for a family is now coming to a more acceptable price. It's almost at a regular price, I would say. If was in another date, it could probably go to $1,500, which would be usually the normal price. So I would say the prices have returned to almost normal, but again, we have still high inflation, we still have interest rates that keep on rising and everything else, and this issue with competition. So there hasn't been much of competition. However, most airlines, if not all airlines, have returned to normal, and they have returned to their frequency. As I said in the beginning of the year on my video, some airlines could have withdrawn from some places. I said I gave the example there, and obviously that was expected, and that was something that will always going to happen, even when there's not the sort of disruption that we had, because airlines always adjust. They always see what routes are more profitable and what routes are not, and adjust the things. Lots of airlines open new routes, just as I expected. I mentioned also in several of my gadget reports and articles, Qantas has done a partnership with Indigo from India, such as British Airways did too. So more destinations available, and other airlines. KLM now has a different partnership. I also welcome that in a video here. So they are now operating with Garuda, with, for example, with Qantas, which is also it's much better. Garuda used to be very low rated, but then they turned things around, and today they are one of the best airlines. So it's one of those things, and I've seen that, so I was right on that. There is more routes that have opened. The airlines have opened routes for different places, and created different partnerships, which is good, which is always positive. So I was right on that. I was right that the prices would stabilize. However, the example that I gave, and I'm trying to compare apples with apples, so I'm trying to recreate the trip that my friends did last year, and obviously we noticed that it has been a significant decrease in the pricing. However, due to the dates they have chosen, it will be still on the high note because of those particular dates. So I think I was right on that. The prices are stabilizing. Of course, they would still be quite high because of the inflation and all other aspects of the economy at the moment. And more routes they have opened. I think the competition has been happening around the world. Australia has had all these issues lately, so it's a little of a deviation from what is expected. And I also seen a chart that was published on social media, a chart from IATA that also shows that most continents have also stabilized, and the profits have come to almost to normal. The flight, the frequency, everything, everyone says that it has reached the pandemic levels. So this is a very good thing for aviation. I think I was right on that. Of course, I was not right on everything. Prices are still high because, and I said also in my video, the inflation was still something, and it was expecting to stay, which it did, unfortunately, and therefore that's why we still see these very high prices. Again, I continue to believe what I said, that airlines will have to come to terms with this and play with all of these factors, because the high cost of living, high inflation, with the interest rates keep on rising, and the rents, etc., people will start cutting costs. And when they cut costs, they cut on things that are not necessary, such as holidays and other things that they can go without. So airlines need to look at that and try to tinker with their pricing, tinker with their offer, in order to still get those passengers in, still make money, but be able to get them in, not with fares that are so high that are prohibitive for most of us. So I think I would say my analysis was bang on. I really think what I expected 2023 to be, it actually was. I was not expecting all the debacle and the scandals with Qantas. I've been someone that has been quite unhappy with things were going at Qantas for quite a while, and I hope the airline can turn things around, and 2024 is a positive year for the airline. They have now announced more direct flights from Perth to Europe, which is a very good thing. Even for Australians in the East Coast, they can just do the stopover in Perth, and I think they will still be better off. However, the airline must think about their pricing and must think about this competition and these things, because they really need to attract the passengers, they really need to attract clients. And at the moment, people are really, really upset with Qantas. People are not trusting the airline after all the things that have happened. So I was not expecting that. That was not included in my analysis, because I did not see it coming. I did not think that Qantas was capable of selling tickets to cancelled flights. I think that was massively wrong. It was unethical, was unprofessional, was seriously wrong in all sorts of levels. I was not expecting that, and that damaged the airline, that damaged Australian aviation. So I think maybe I will do another analysis for 2024. I am not sure if I will, but I think it might be continuing the positive trends. That's what I think. So this was my analysis. This is what I thought after the year is gone. So we are now in December, and this is what I found after 1 year of aviation. I think it was a positive analysis. I think I did a good job on my analysis. I think it was most of the points that I pointed out in that video actually happened. So I think it was a very good one. So what do you think? That's all for today. I hope you really liked my analysis and you liked my challenge. I think I got it. But let me know what you think. Let me know. Do you think I really got it, or do you think I was wrong in some of these aspects? Are you traveling now? How much are you paying? Would you share with us? I did this, this little try. I know I just tried to book flights as if I was my friends, and this is what I got. So I think you know, is a little of a decrease, comparing obviously with things that are, you know, obviously the dates that were chosen and stuff could not really be compared, but seriously, it was I would say that for these dates it was a good saving. Back in the day it was a good saving. I think that would be the case, and after that I just tried to make other days, and in fact in that week it was that the flights that we found for the 24th were the cheapest, because nobody really wants to fly on those dates. But you know, if you tinker with your dates and you move away from those very congested dates, you may get better pricing. So this was my things. And before the 24th, I get for one person a return flight, the cheapest is at $4,000. So we would be bang on what they spent last year if they went prior to that. So the flights for that day are really increasing. Obviously, I cannot compare those prices with last year because I did not do this exercise. I'm just comparing the same dates because obviously that's what I mentioned in my video. Again, the correction, it was 4 people. It was not 2 people, as I said in the video. There would have been first class prices, I guess. Yeah, but if you have a different experience, if you are flying this December, let us know about the pricing. If you're flying Europe, let us know what you're paying, which airlines are you flying with, and let me know, what do you think about my analysis? What do you think about this challenge of mine? Do you agree with me or you don't? You have a different opinion? Let me know in the comments below. You know, put a like on the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new gadget report every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching and see you next week for the last gadget report of the year. So see you then. Have a good week. Thank you. Bye.